Hey everybody, it's Jerry Leak here with some more videos for the vibeworkshop.com website, adapting some rhythmic concepts to the African Balafon. This is my particular instrument for Burkina Faso. I've included some information on the history and background and context of the Balafon with links to traditional performances and other articles. So really I'm just using the instrument to have fun creating ideas and adapting right now really a lot of drum set grooves that I teach my students and play, but discover that of course they're adaptable just about to any instrument. Today's lesson is going to look at some interesting possibilities with the Afro-Cuban clave patterns, things that we're quite familiar with. These will be in the binary feel as opposed to more of the ternary or the 12/8, 6/8 combinations that I'll start to get into, moving progressively into some more of the intricate styles in 12/8. But these are all in 4/4, and it's very common that we mostly know this particular pattern in both the sewn and the rumba variations, and also a third pattern that I created that I found to be quite interesting. So before we begin, you really want to go to the description supportive materials and download the page on clave. This is a grid I put together. It's an excerpt from my book on clave. And this kind of encapsulates a lot of the stuff that is explained in the book. So, you know, you're getting the benefit of sort of the conclusion, but I also encourage you to dig deeper into clave concepts. Ed Uribe has written a fantastic book on clave and adaptations, and I'm far from an expert on these styles, but my book goes way back a number of decades and is a good beginning and exploration on that. So the first grid basically introduces the three sewn clave, the 3+2 combination. The 3/2 clave, basically we can think of that as a bar of three hits in the first bar and 3 hits in the second. So if I just lay down a pulse in 4/4, we have 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1. And I can go to the upper register and maybe down. So keeping the left hand constant, that's kind of the repeating engine to the phrase, and then introducing the variations in the right hand. Now we could put it to more of a halftime feel and very basic, not that demanding, and you're free to switch hands. As I should mention more often, I'm a lefty by trade, but I do play Indian percussion right-handed, which is a long story. I won't quite get into that right now, except to say you feel free to switch the hands. So we get so you should feel comfort with switching those guys around. Absolutely, certainly with keeping the beat and then the clave. So that's the sewn clave, and it's known as the 3/2 sewn, although in Cuba and other regions they don't necessarily refer to it in so many descriptive terms. They just know which clave it is. So, but basically the 3 is in the first bar, and sometimes they'll speak it like this. Un, dos, tres, un, dos, tres, un, dos. And using my Indian syllables, I can speak it as takita takita taka 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 dimi, takita takita taka 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 dimi. You know, different ways to realize the same pattern. So with the 4 pulse, that's the quarter note, but it sounds nicer to the half note, as I mentioned. So it almost feels like it's now all condensed into 1 bar as opposed to 2 bars. And really the 3/3. The clave has both a question phrase and an answer phrase. So this is the question, and this is the answer. Right there, answer, question, question. So if you go back to my earlier videos, my study on 3+3+2, that's what I call the world's most famous rhythm structure. It exists in every form, and it's really just the question part of the clave phrase. So refer back to that video, lots of materials to explore on that. Okay, so now then there's something of course known as the rumba clave, and that's very popular with rhythms such as the wawanko and other styles that give it that. So basically the phrase stays the same except for the third hit. So let's see here. Okay, that would be, I'm sorry, it's in the right-hand column, so you move to the rumba variation. And the last hit, the hit on the fourth beat of the first bar is now delayed by 1/8 note to appear a little later. So that would be this. So now if I play the full beat. So on, off, off, on, on. Half note. So the difference between the son clave and the rumba clave is, here's the son, 1, 2, and 4, then rumba. I think you get the idea. This is nothing new. So, and of course you would never switch claves in the middle of a performance piece. So this is really designed as an exercise and a sort of an etude on clave combinations. So it bends the rules, but takes it into more of a contemporary arrangement. Okay, so now of course there's the 2-3 son, clave, and rumba, which is basically just starting from the second bar. Now things aren't really going to change so much in our perspective because I'm just keeping a beat in the left hand. Here's this 2-3 son. 1. Actually, it'll change in that the second bar I'm going to put up here, so you'll feel that difference. The 2 hits are now here. The 3 hits are now here. So there's a little bit of a change. Then the rumba version. 1. 1. Okay, so, and then I created the whole idea of this, the 3-2 and the 2-3 is that they displaced. It's a different starting point. You're starting from the second half in the 2-3 version. I thought it'd be interesting to come up with another combination of that rotation, and if you look at the page, I have these little asterisks indicating where the starting point of the original phrase is. Of course, in the first phrase, it starts on the 1. Then I have it starting on the downbeat of the second bar. Then it starts on what is the third beat. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the third beat of the second bar. So now it creates a different rotation. Here's the phrase in context. 1. And my quasi-rumba version of this is to create a shift in that. So the energy is shifting on actually the second hit is now moved forward or backwards in time. So it becomes. Okay, so that's a little bit of an examination of the 6 patterns that are highlighted, the 3-2, the 2-3, and then my own little version for the right hand. The very bottom line introduces what we're going to call the bass clave. And it's a 2-bar phrase, which is going to really now highlight the shift in the clave. And it's going to be a continuous kind of a grooving pattern, and this is where I bring everything all together. So let me just break it down for you. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So the first one. So what you're looking at is the bottom line, giving you the left hand, and I just played the top line phrase. And it should line up in such a way for you to see that relationship. So the idea is to keep the bass clave and go from the son to the rumba version, and then to the 2-3 son, 2-3 rumba, and then my sort of quasi invention. I'm going to play this sequence all the way through, and just rewind and check it out, but study the examples, work on the mechanics away from the instrument. You know, carry this little image with you on your phone or whatever works to kind of get inside it a little further. So at that said, I'm going to play each cycle 8 times. It's worth repeating. And, you know, if I have a couple of slips and slides here, well, you'll catch them, and I'm not going to care. So here we go. Bass clave. Now beginning. Again. Okay, so that wasn't terribly bad. I kind of kept it together. Again, bass clave continued. 3-2 stone, 3-2 rumba, 2-3 stone, 2-3 rumba, and then a new variation in treatment. This whole idea of phrase displacement and rotation is something I use all the time, and it's not, I didn't invent it. Nobody did. But it's an obvious way to create variations on themes. And it's something that will be looked at quite a bit in the 12/8 studies. All right, there's our little lesson on clave. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave comments and questions. Check the support materials for the handout and also links to other items, perhaps my book. And, you get the idea. And what you can do with this is unlimited, and I look forward to hearing any sort of video responses that you might come up with. That said, signing off for now. Next lesson, we'll have more ideas. That said, take care.